All right, guys. Injuries: Jimmy Ward, concussion, didn't return. Deion Jordan, knee, did not return. Mostert, ankle, did not return. Tarvarius Moore, knee, did not return. Richie James, ankle, did not return. And Nick Mullens, elbow, did not return. Go ahead.
Bowers.
Can you turn it off? First one, I think he asked about his elbow. I mean, I didn't know. It's probably what you saw on TV. He just ran out of the huddle, and then the trainers told me because he lost sensation in his elbow. Second, why is stuck with Nick? Threw a pick there in the fourth quarter. Thought he'd been playing well. We were in a tie game, and I'm not just going to take a guy out in the fourth quarter in a tie game right after he throws his first interception, especially when the ball was going to the right spot.
Kyle, will you now go to C.J. Beathard regardless of Nick's health for next game?
And we'll see. I mean, I haven't thought about that, but I mean, I'll definitely let C.J. and Nick know first. So.
Kyle, you said Nick went to the right spot on the first interception. Could you take us through each interception and what the breakdown was on those plays?
Yeah, two-man, you throw a corner, and the safety drove on it. And what was the next interception? And the next, it just hung out in the air too long, and the guy made a good play. I mean, the second one was, I thought, a lot worse than the first one.
Now that this obviously is an extension of the disturbing trend of turnovers that you dealt with last week, could you describe your frustration just given how much turnovers were an emphasis this week?
Yeah, I mean, extremely frustrated. You know, I really wanted the guys to come out and play good football, and I think offensively, defensively, and special teams, guys did a lot of good things. When you have 4 turnovers, it doesn't matter what you do. Especially when you got 0. When it's 4-0 and they get 24 points, I believe they had off turnovers. Regardless of what you do on the field, in any aspect, it gives you very little chance to win. So I was real disappointed with the first turnover with the special teams. Thought Lawrence made a hell of a play on the strip. You know, the protection was good. We were in the pocket. He got around there. We were pushing him by, and he got his arm on it as Nick was throwing, which that was an unbelievable play by him. So. Besides the muff punt, I thought we were doing a much better job until the fourth quarter. And then we had back-to-back drives, which ended the game.
I'm not trying to give you an excuse, but you guys you're 0-3 since relocating. These have not been your best games, obviously. I don't know. Do you have a sense of maybe this was just too much to overcome, or is just another element that was too hard to overcome? This team with the injuries maybe just isn't talented enough to overcome.
Well, I mean, yeah, we've dealt with a lot of crap this year, but I mean, when you say it's too much to overcome, I think we would have overcome it without turnovers today, and I don't think the turnovers necessarily have to do with all of that. So. You play good football, you got a chance to win every week, and regardless of our circumstances, that's doesn't mean you need to turn the ball over.
Now it's now a third losing season in 4 years for you. How frustrating is that just on a personal level? How do you sort of remedy that?
I mean, I kind of understood what the first couple of years were going to be like coming here. We knew what we wanted to do and build through that. Kind of everything went as planned. This year was the most disappointing one. We had very high expectations coming into this year. Losing the Super Bowl and then not getting to see our guys till training camp. We were really working on trying to run that back. With a very similar group, we didn't make too many changes, and I think that changed pretty early in the season. And we had to go a different direction with our team and stuff. But definitely a huge challenge this year. But I always believe we could have won more games than we have so far.
Kyle, what's the situation with your running backs? You said Mostert was out with the ankle. It looked like Wilson hurt his hamstring and came out the last few seconds. And I guess going forward, it looks like McKinnon and Coleman would be your options there in the backfield.
And we have Walter too. He had COVID this week. I'm not sure when he gets back. Yeah, I mean, those guys have been banged up. I mean, all three of them. I mean, that's how Tevin's been too. That's why Tevin hasn't been playing much. So, you know, all the running backs that we played with last year have been battling hard this year to stay out there. But they all got injuries early in the season, and they've battled to come back. But they've had some tough injuries that linger. And every time they get out there and they start playing and get into the game, and they end up popping back up again. And it's been a tough year for all those guys.
Going to do a couple more.
Kyle, I know Mike McGlinchey didn't miss any snaps, but he seemed to grab his leg at one point. Do you have any updates on him? And then also, how as a coach do you help Nick Mullens and his inconsistencies out there?
I think Mike just got the wind knocked out of him, what I was told, at least out there before he came back. And I mean, with Nick, you just coach him, try to get him to go to the right spot with the ball. I thought there was a couple that he probably shouldn't have attempted with where it was on the field, but I mean, Nick's done some good things, but when you turn the ball over that much, it's going to be tough to keep getting the opportunities.
We're going to look at this game and see that you guys gave up 41 points. I think the defense played terribly, but Cowboys were held under 300 yards, 6 for 15 on third down, and the defense even held them to field goals on a couple of short fields. You just talk about the defense, how you felt that they played, and how they've overcome some of the difficult situations they've been put in this season.
I thought, you know, the defense gave us a very good chance to win, except we just didn't get any turnovers. I think that would be the only thing that which could have gone differently with them. I mean, the score isn't indicative of how they played. I mean, that just got out of hand there later. We did give them a short field a couple times. That the last one where they held them to a field goal, no yards, I thought was very impressive. But early in the game, the muff punt getting away back there, then the fumble. But there were some real good things I thought the defense did today, and especially losing a number of guys, not getting JV before the game and things like that. I was real impressed from what I saw, how Spoon came in and stepped it up. Thought he made some good plays. I was happy to see him do that. We're not playing well as a team right now, and that's why our record shows that.
Last one, please.
Does today's result affect your decision on George Kittle and on Jimmy Garoppolo, perhaps the last 2 weeks?
No, it doesn't.